Welcome to Antiques Downunder. We're on the search for incredible antiques and collectibles.
From private collections, historic homes, backyard sheds, museums and galleries. We'll be talking to the experts, the custodians and the passionate collectors.
Are we on yet?
Of course, it's season 2 of Antiques Downunder.
Coming up on Antiques Downunder, we visit the oldest theatre in mainland Australia.
I meet Australia's biggest Agatha Christie fan.
We discover the exquisite Johnston Collection.
And Gregory takes a trip through a 20th century collection.
Claudia, I'm about to show you the oldest theatre on mainland Australia, built in 1840 here in Adelaide, 4 years after settlement.
Fantastic. It's the Queen's Theatre, and the great thing is, it's still operating as a theatre today.
I know, let's go to the theatre.
Cash, here we are. This is where Othello was first played in 1841. It must be great to be doing theatre in this space today.
It's really fantastic, Claudia. The fact that the building is now being used as the intended purpose when it was built back in 1840 by Edwin Solomon is really warms the heart. You can feel the vibe and the energy in this space come alive when this theatre shows.
It's such an incredible space. Is this pretty much what it felt like? Is this the original feel?
Well, I look quite old, Claudia, but I can't confirm for sure that this is what it felt like. But I would say so, yes. I think that the large, high ceilings, the set that we've got here at the moment does replicate, in some ways, the fashion of the Othello show with the wings. I have a feeling when you see the audiences late in the evening and they're cheering and clapping, that's very much what would have been happening here back nearly 200 years ago.
Yeah, but you're not playing Othello now.
We're not playing Othello, no. We have Matador on at the moment, which is a fantastic circus meets burlesque.
Some of the historic features in this room. Down there we've got the original walls.
Yes.
You can see where they took the balconies out.
Yeah, the joists still protrude.
Out, yeah. The roof's gone, unfortunately. But it'd be wonderful to see all that rebuilt, wouldn't it?
Imagine. I think if we could do it with a modern twist,
Yeah.
so it had the comforts of what we've got today, that would be amazing.
Would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But also, underneath us here, they did an excavation in the 1990s, didn't they?
They did, that's right. They excavated and it was exposed for a good 8 months where they dug up the dressing rooms, the walls, the brick walls still remain under there. They found quite a few artefacts, which is now with the South Australian Museum. Shoes, earrings, all props from back in the day.
Is that where you left your shoes?
That must be where I left my shoes. I've got your earring as well.
Oh,
if you need it.
Okay, thank you. And who were the original builders, the original family that built the theatre?
The original builder was Emmanuel Solomon. His brother Fabian was in Sydney, who organised all of the candles and the props and the other infrastructure to be sent over. But Emmanuel was the man here on the ground doing all the building. It was his dream.
Still got fantastic vibes to it, hasn't it? I mean, that you can virtually feel the spirits of the past in the theatre, and it's so beautiful to see it going back to what it was originally built for.
Yes, I agree. You know, it's had many different roles. It's been a car park, it's been a warehouse, it's been a magistrate's court, but to have it back again since the 1990s as a theatre, being used as a theatre space, is just wonderful.
It is. Well, let's go and discover some more of it, shall we?
Let's.
That's okay, let's go.
So here we have the original 1840s fascia that was built when the original theatre was built. It was Georgian, and 10 years later, when they revamped the theatre, they put on a Victorian frontage in 1850, and it was renamed Victoria Theatre.
Claudia, we're in another area of the theatre, which was an extension built for stables when Dalgetty's used to sell bloodstock here, another use for the old building.
How fabulous.
A fabulous use. On the back wall behind us are the rings to attach the horses to.
So that they'd be tied up?
Tied up before they get led into the bloodstock for the sale. And one of the other things that's occurred to me is that my great-grandfather, David James, had a racing stable at the same time. And he may have been buying his bloodstock in this building.
Look, he could have been absolutely here.
That's right.
In the same spot.
Yep.
But what's great about it now is cocktail lounge, cabaret, gorgeous things happening in this space so many years later. It's totally reinvigorated.
It is totally, and come along and enjoy it. Alfonso, we've got a beautiful piece of silver here. Can you guess what it is?
Can I hold it?
Yeah.
I think the ideas I'd come up with would be a little bit obvious. Off the top of my head, I would think something like a potpourri, but being really old, and it's got a little bird on top, could it hold such a thing as quail eggs or something like that?
Quail eggs.
Something like that.
That's a good one. I'm with Tira, and Tira's going to try and guess what this item is.
Okay, so I can see, is that a duck on the top?
Yes, it is.
It is a duck.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one thing right. Does it hold a candle?
Could do. Opens up.
Interesting. Maybe potpourri.
Someone else thought of that as well.
Oh, okay,
Potpourri.
Could it be something for a child's room?
Aromarizer for a child's room. Yeah, it could be, yeah. They are great ideas, Tira. Thank you very much. Tira's going to have to wait till next week's show to find out what it is.
Looking
Thanks
forward
very
to
much,
it.
Tira. Do you want to guess the mystery object? Head to our Facebook and Instagram pages to enter.
Miss Marple, Hercule Poirot, characters created by the world's best-selling author, Agatha Christie. And I'm here today with Australia's biggest Agatha Christie fan, Scott Wallace-Baker. It's incredible to be in your space. What started this obsession, Scott?
When I was about 10, my dad recommended I watch the weekend midday movie, which was Witness for the Prosecution, and I became obsessed from there.
Were you reading paperbacks as a young man?
Once I started high school, yes, because there were quite a few in the school library, and I became obsessed not just with the books, but with the book covers and the cover artist Tom Adams.
Now, the amazing thing is that you do have some original Tom Adams paintings that were used for some of the covers.
Yes, never would I have imagined that one day I would own them.
What are the paintings that you have?
Well, for the English publisher, Fontana, part of Collins, I've got the second cover painting he did for Destination Unknown and the second cover painting he did for A Caribbean Mystery. And then I've got 3 paintings that he did for the US publisher Pocket Books, and they are Remembered Death, which was the American title for Sparkling Cyanide, The Clocks, and Dead Man's Folly.
What do you love about Agatha Christie's writing?
I think at her very best, the endings are so shocking, and yet if you read them again, all the clues are there, and you think, how did I miss this? You fall in love with particular characters that have had a bit of a rough time, and then you find out that they did it. And it's, no!
Do you have any signed copies of Agatha Christie books?
I do actually have quite a few. Some were actually the ones that she wrote under her pen name, Mary Westmacott. But I've got this one here in particular to show you. because it's got an Australian connection. This was a little bit of a mystery, this book. I noticed that there was a stamp inside which said London Library, London Stores Building. And I thought, London Library. So I emailed the London Library and I said, is this your stamp? And they got back to me and said, no, that's not our stamp. And came back to me with the information that there's a London Stores Building on the corner of Burke and Elizabeth Street in Melbourne. This book has probably never left Australia. I wanted to know more about this Mr. Coleman, who it was dedicated to. And it turns out that he was a passenger on the boat from South Africa to Adelaide in 1922, on the same boat as Agatha Christie.
Aha.
Yes.
Agatha Christie's obituary in the Times said she never cared much for cinema, the wireless or television, which is kind of ironic because look at the huge franchise of films and TV shows based on Agatha Christie books.
I really love Crooked House, and I think Glenn Close is magnificent in it. Of course, Witness for the Prosecution is a classic, and Agatha Christie actually did like that one, and she wrote to Billy Wilder years later and told him so. There's one in particular that I love, and that's the 1982 film Evil Under the Sun. And I've been very lucky to acquire one of the costumes, which is this, that Diana Rigg wore in the scene in which she sings You're the Top.
Oh, very glamorous.
And I love Cole Porter as well.
You have books, you have posters, you also have something that belonged to Agatha Christie.
Yeah, something very personal, and that is this brooch. But there's no markings. We don't know which jewellery maker made it. We don't know who requested it to be made. It's clearly bespoke. I would love to know more. We know that Agatha Christie first started wearing it at Mousetrap anniversaries, when it started breaking records, so from the mid-1950s, and she was wearing it right up until her 80th birthday.
Now, Scott, I really do love your brooch. Can I borrow it?
But it's the jewel of my collection. No!
It was Claudia with the candlestick in the library.
Today I'm with John, and John has got a magnificent contemporary collection going right back to the 1920s to modern day. And it is a pleasure to really be here, John, to see all what you've collected over the time.
Thanks, Greg.
This cabinet, what can you tell us about it?
Well, this was one of the first pieces I bought in my apartment when I moved in. It's an Art Deco piece, and it's French, probably dates to the 1920s. And one of the things that actually really drew me to the piece was when I found out that it features in Baz Luhrmann's version of The Great Gatsby. Oh. So when I found that out, I thought, I think I have to have that.
I think I would say that too, yeah. And the beautiful bronze on top of it.
The bronze is another Art Deco piece by a French artist, Uline, and I just love the form. I thought it was really quite perfect. A lot of Art Deco bronzes, they often don't get the facial features quite right, or the proportions aren't quite right. I really admired this piece because it really is quite perfect.
And the other contemporary pieces is along with Moorcroft.
Yeah, so Moorcroft was one of the earliest antiques that I started collecting, and I just loved the details in them, the handmade nature of them as well. And that led me into a love of modern ceramic pieces as well. And these are pieces by Australian master potter Ted Seacombe, who is very well known. And I just think they go very well and pick up the colours in my painting as well.
The painting's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And then at the back of you here, we've got this magnificent piece of Moorcroft.
Yeah, that's an exhibition piece, I was told, when I purchased it. So often William Moorcroft would make one very large piece, there would be a centrepiece for an exhibition, like even a World's Fair, for example.
Well, let's go and have a look at what else you've managed to collect and surprise me.
Sure,
okay?
of course.
Right. Now, John, we've come across another selection of your contemporary collection. Some fantastic pieces here on this sideboard. Tell us about the sideboard.
The sideboard was very difficult to find. I had purchased this painting from overseas, and because of its dimensions, I knew I had to find a low sideboard to basically cater for the other pieces. And it was very hard to find, but in the end I sourced this vintage mid-century Australian piece locally, and it was a fantastic find, and I love it. It's a really particular piece with beautiful design working, and the wood is just gorgeous.
Stunning. And some of the pieces on the top here.
Well, the pieces actually are an extension of my ceramic collection, obviously. These are all modern pieces, and thanks to Instagram and the exposure that artists get worldwide now, I've managed to find pieces from the United States, pieces from Australia, the United States again, and from the UK. So, yeah, the whole world is represented almost.
I believe you have some Featherston.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
Let's go and have a look. Now, John, we're in this beautiful, lovely, cosy library of yours. It'd be magic just relaxing in here reading a book. But you've got some stunning pieces in here as well. What's your favourite piece?
Well, I'd have to say the first piece I ever bought, which is the dorm vase, which is from about 1900, glass vase. Just before I decided to change direction entirely.
And there's some Moorcroft up behind me there as well.
Yeah, there's a whole mix of pieces in here. I've got old pieces like Moorcroft and some Wedgwood, all the way through to modern works by Pippin Drysdale, who you may know, one of Australia's most celebrated ceramic artists with an international reputation.
This Featherston furniture that we're sitting on, that's just an absolute pleasure as well. I never thought I'd be sitting on Featherston.
Well, it's a surprise that I have them in my home, really, but I fell in love with the form, and it just fits in so well with the other pieces that I have, the mid-century design, the unique Australian quality of them. They're beautiful pieces, really quite incredible, and some quite special. That's the wing chair. That's a very special chair. There aren't many of them left, actually. So quite special. I was very lucky to acquire that.
Now, Gregory, where are you taking me now?
To the Johnston Collection in Melbourne.
This looks nice.
It's fantastic.
Louis, it always fascinates me how an important collection begins. And for the Johnston Collection, it was a little teacup.
It certainly was a little teacup, and this cup right here was given to William Johnston by his grandmother at the age of 8. And this is, we say, the cup that started a collection. And it all grew from here. And 2,500 works later, we've now got a fantastic house with a fantastic museum and a fantastic collection.
So, Louis, what did William love to collect?
After he left school, he worked as a window dresser, and then he had a friend who was collecting antiques. They had a car and they could collect things, and his mother purchased a house in Brighton, and then he started adding things to the house in Brighton. He gave up his career as a window dresser, went over to England in the late 40s, and by 1952 or so he'd set up a warehouse in Greenwich and started sending antiques back. His first major purchases were historical portraits like the Mary Beale that we have behind us, or the Robert Peake painting upstairs of Lord Montague. He was definitely into mahogany, dark furniture, but also porcelain. His real passion was porcelain.
Well, Louis, we're in this beautiful dining room. You can imagine everyone sitting around this table, can't you?
You certainly can. And this room, in the green drawing room, is the room that William Johnston purchased the house because of. And William Johnston, when he became a dealer in Melbourne in the 1970s, he used to invite people to this room because it was an extension of his shop. So he loved to invite people to dinner, and if they liked the pieces of furniture, if they liked any of the porcelains, he would sell them to them. He never missed an opportunity to have a good sale.
Us antique dealers never miss an opportunity. I had friends who actually sold the dining room chairs under everybody that night.
I haven't heard a story like that, but I wouldn't put it past William Johnston. So one of the things that Johnston did love was flowers, and so we can see on this sort of dining room setting a James Duke and Nephew dessert service that has all different portraits of flowers on them. So his love of flowers, his love of gardening, his love of porcelain is all embodied in the set that we have on the table.
Louis, we're in front of this beautiful bookcase. It reminds me of the one in Dumfries House in Scotland. It was one of his favourite pieces, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I wish it was a piece of Chippendale that did have its sort of invoices with it, but it's certainly in the Chippendale style. Yeah. And with the bookcase, it was one of the first purchases that William Johnston made when he went to England. He purchased it in 1952 from a sale of items from Kimbolton House. He did love it, but he did also send it back to England on a number of occasions to try and sell it there. Thank goodness it never sold, because we still have it in the collection today.
Now, Louis, this beautiful painting here, it's a little bit of a story about it, isn't it?
There certainly is. William Johnston had very humble beginnings, and he was certainly as a self-made man. This one here, there is a remarkable story that goes with it, because it's painting by Naismith of Alverhouse in Stirlingshire, the seat of J.R. Johnston, Esquire. And when he invited people around to have dinner or to spend time in the green drawing room, he used to like to lean on the mantelpiece and tell people a story and let them admire this sort of lovely Scottish scene. And the little house that's just up in the distance, people would regale and remark about the effect of what a lovely home that would have been to have in your lineage, and he would allow people to think that that was the house that he grew up in. He was the son of a bootmaker and a scullery maid, but to think that you could come from a house and from an area like this, or a country property, is a remarkable thing to believe in.
Claudia, hasn't it been wonderful experiencing the Johnston Collection?
You should see what they have upstairs. You really need to see this for yourself. Next time on Antiques Down Under, a world of jewellery at Kalmar Antiques.
I go on a grand tour.
I unmask an unusual collection.
And we go from uranium glass to Barcelona.
Gregory, do you think we looked like that in our past lives?
I could never have worn a wig like that.
Oh, I don't know. I think it suits you. We'll see you next time on Antiques Down Under.
Missed an episode of Antiques Down Under? Check us out on 9 Now.